Hey everyone, John here, and welcome back to the Toy Box. First, happy Pokemon Day! For those of you who aren't familiar, the first Pokemon games ever were released today, 27 years ago. Pokemon Red and Green were released in Japan on February 27th, 1996. They would be released later as Pokemon Red and Blue in North America on September 28th, 1998. To celebrate, we're going to take a look at an evolution line that, for many players my age, was the first Pokemon they ever caught playing Pokemon. We have the Pokemon Center Rattata and Raticate sitting Cuties Plushes. We're going to get started with Rattata, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Now, I can't tell you with 100% certainty that Rattata was the first Pokemon that I ever caught, but I can say that it was in my first team. You can catch Rattata as soon as you leave Pallet Town alongside Pidgey. Now, how long Rattata would stay on the team was a different story. For me, Rattata was a strong Pokemon at the start. I didn't know anything about Stab, and I barely looked at the stats when I first started playing, but Rattata did seem stronger than most of the Pokemon at the beginning of the game. On the playthroughs where I did not trade to have all three starters, Rattata would be on the team longer. It got Quick Attack early, which was stronger due to being a normal type, and Hyper Fang was insane considering the moves you had access to at that time. Now, back then, 80 power moves were really rare early in the game. So yeah, I definitely counted on Rattata. So let's go ahead and take a look at the plush. So first, Rattata passes the standing test. That means it can stand on its own without any help from the wall or any other objects. It's good for displays. And next, the colors and proportions for this plush look pretty good. This is how it would look like in the games. I know that early, if you played Red and Blue, then Rattata it was black and white, so Rattata, you couldn't see the purple or anything like that. But once you started seeing Rattata in the anime and seeing Rattata in the later games, then yes, you can see all of the colors and the proportions. As far as the firmness goes, Rattata is about a medium firmness, which is on par with the rest of the Sitting Cuties plushes, so it's about average. And let's take a look at the rest of the details. So first, we'll go ahead and start with Rattata's head. We have embroidered eyes right here in the red. We have the nose right here. This is also embroidered. And then we have teeth sticking out, the fangs. You can see stitches right here where they're divided, so it's one piece. The teeth, that you can look from the side, they're like a stiff, double-sided material, 2 layers. Then we have the whiskers on this side. These are also the same. They're not as stiff as the teeth, but they are also double-layered material. Here's the other one so you can see. The ears are pretty soft. There's no stuffing in here, so they're pretty flat. And we have the lighter side with the purple side on the back. You can see the other ear folds down a little bit, so it looks pretty cool. Now, going down to the body. The pellets are here near the back legs, so this is what helps Rattata balance pretty well. We have a light belly. Rattata's purple all around. The legs are skinny, just the way it should be. And if you look closely here, you can see that there are stitches that divide all the toes. So Rattata does have the 3 toes. And it's like this for all the feet. On the back legs, I'll point out that you also have pads at the back. This is nice because these are details that probably didn't have to be put in, but the Pokemon Center plushes are pretty detailed, so I like that a lot. Then we have Rattata's tail. It's lightly stuffed, so it doesn't stand up all the way straight. It goes to the side a little bit. You can see it from the front and from the back. The end right here looks a little bit like a fist, but it's a little heavier, so that's what brings the tail down a little bit. And then lastly, we have the tags. So we have the Rattata tag. And then these are the toe tags. Now, this is the old style tag, so I got this Rattata a while back, so I think that probably they still had them in stock, so they weren't shipping them out with the new tags. So if you decide to get it now, it probably will have the new tag. But anyways, That was Rattata, so let's go ahead and take a look at its evolved form, Raticate. So, Raticate is the evolved form of Rattata. You get Raticate when you level Rattata up to level 20. Raticate is also pretty common in the wild, so you can also get one that way as well. Me, I always ended up evolving my Rattata. I used Raticate a lot in the early game, but he would kind of drop off in the mid game to late game. Raticate had Hyper Fang, which was really useful early in the game. However, the disadvantage was that normal types aren't strong against any other type. So eventually, I had to replace Raticate with someone else once those Pokemon gained access to stronger moves. It was also hard to justify throwing TMs all over my Raticate for a couple of reasons. First, in Gen 1, the special stats were combined into one, and Raticate's was low. So putting special attacks on him was no good. Second, TMs back then were rare. You only get one copy of the good ones, so you can't really experiment. These days, however, things are much better. The games are less grindy than before, you can get more TMs. There is a physical and special split with every single type, so there's just a lot more flexibility to go around. And I was able to play it with Raticate more and have a lot of fun doing that. Anyways, let's take a look at the plush. So first, Raticate passes the standing test, just like Rattata. The colors and proportions look very good. Raticate always has a big head, so I know it might look like the head's a little too big, but this is actually how it's supposed to be. For the firmness, I always thought Raticate would have been a firmer plush, but this plush is actually pretty soft, so I would say compared to all the other sitting Cuties plushes, this one is very soft. There are a lot of details for this plush, and that's one of the reasons why I like this one a lot, so let's go ahead and take a look at all of them. We're going to go ahead and start off with the head. We have embroidered eyes right here. Here's one, there's the other. We have the nose right here. I can't really tell if this is embroidered or not. I think it is, but it's hard to tell when the material is black. But that's the nose. We have the mouth right here. The teeth are a different material than the rest of the plush. You can tell with the texture. I think it's a kind of felt. I think it's the same thing they normally use for whiskers and things like that. You can see the stitching to show the divide between the two fangs. Here's a black stitch just to show the bottom, to separate the top and bottom teeth. Raticate's whiskers are pretty tough. They're double-sided right here, so the material is furry on this side, but it's a little less furry on the other side. It's double layered, very stiff. You can take a look at the other side too. Now, for the ears are very soft. Again, like with Rattata, there's no stuffing in here, so it's just soft. We have the lighter side right here. If we turn it around, you can see the darker side. Here's the other ear. Now, Raticate's haircut up here is also just like the whisker. It's double-sided material. You can see it through the side right here. And it's very spiky. So this is the spikier part of the plush. Don't rub that on your face. Now, you have 5 rows here on the back of hair, and they're all pretty spiky. So like I said, if the kids are playing with this, don't let them rub that on their face because it could poke them in the eye. Now, moving on to the body, right here in the belly, you can see hair right here. Now, this hair is a lot softer than the hair up here. It's a lot thinner. So it's very soft right here in the belly. The pellets are right here in the belly, so it helps Raticate balance. Now, one of my favorite parts of this plush are the arms and legs. The arms and legs are done pretty well. Instead of having just one piece where you separate the toes with stitches, like sometimes they do, they're built separately like this, which is pretty awesome. It gives Raticate its signature pose from the games. And then we have the feet right here, which are the same thing. It's pretty nice detail. One thing to keep in mind about the feet is that they are attached to the belly right here at the top, so you can't bring the feet down into the standing position. Which I guess is what they meant to do, because these are sitting Cuties plushes after all. Now we can go to the tail. The tail is pretty stiff, so it's stuffed pretty tightly. So this is the firmest part of the plush. The tail has the lines. The lines are all stitched in with thread. You can see them all here. And it keeps its shape pretty well since it's so firmly stuffed. And lastly, we have the tags. So this is Sitting Cuties Raticate. And here are the toe tags. So anyway, that was Raticate. So let's go ahead and bring everyone back together. Well, these were the Pokemon Center Rattata and Raticate Sitting Cuties plushes. So, what do you guys think of today's plushes? What Rattata and Raticate stories do you have for us? Let me know in the comments below. If you're interested in Rattata or Raticate, I'll put links to Pokemon Center in the description. At the time of filming, they're going for $10.99 each. Well, anyways, that's all I have for you guys this week. I really hope you have a great Pokemon day and get a chance to play some Pokemon. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, rate, subscribe, and don't stop playing.